Let's get things underway here. See if we can't get to the Light Warden tonight. Audio sounds good. Alright. Let's get going. When we last left off, we did a lot here in Kalusha towards getting up there. We need to go over there. We need to figure out a way to do that. And the solution we came up with is we need to build a fucking Gundam. So, let's get into that. Extinguishing the last light. Right, so, while the two of you were away, I received word that everything is in place, meaning we can proceed with awakening the Talos. Once we imbue with the magic, it will stir itself and immediately carry out its assigned function, namely taking Mount Goga in its grasp. Allah, we may be certain that Vauthry will not look on in idleness as we beat a path to his front door. Once our plans are set in motion, there will be no turning back. So see to your preparations as meticulously as you may, and I will give the order to proceed as soon as you are ready. That's my gear. Is there a mender? There's no mender here, so we're just gonna go. Give the word and I will relay the order to awaken the Talos. Engage! Very well, let's begin. Man, what is this thing gonna look like? I hope it looks different from the other Taloses, and it's not just a big one.
Word from the Exarch. All is set on his side, and we may proceed when ready.
Well, we have sufficient stone for our needs.
Likewise, preparations for the imbuing have been made according to thine exacting instructions.
Then you need only say the word.
Let us begin. See that everyone is in position. We shall catch Vauthry, mountain and all.
Man, what is this gonna look like? Oh. Oh.
Here it comes!
Oh. Is it just a big hand? We got it! I think. Yeah, what do you think about that shit? Oh, this was the dungeon thing. This was the thing in the dungeon. Oh my god. In the dungeon preview. I It's like, what the fuck? Get it! Mountain, get! Fucking look at that thing.
Ha ha! Yes, yes! You've not lost your touch, you clever old bugger!
Come on.
Do you see what they're doing? If its hands are damaged, it won't be able to cling to the mountain. Oh, I knew this was a terrible idea.
Vauthry marshals the Eaters to his defense. This was only to be expected. We must try and draw as many of them down to the ground as possible. It may not be enough, but we have no other choice.
Good God.
Is that?
Oh.
Such a heartless thing our sapling is. Cold and cruel and heartless. Summon us in times of need, we expressly said. Yet what should we find but the final battle joined without so much as a whisper of our name? Yes, we may also have said that we Fey folk have no interest in the struggles of men. But if our adorable sapling had come crying to us for help, we would of course have flown to his aid. Of course we would. What are we to do with him? We are so very, very sad. You will play with us. Cheer us up again!
Grab that mountain. Grab that mountain. Grab that mountain. Get. Mountain, get. You have acquired one mountain. Ah, damn, it's not a high quality mountain, though. Thank you, Phil. I think they're mad at me.
This I did not expect, but I will gladly accept the help. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others. Join them at the foot of Mount Gulg and be ready to make the ascent.
Surely, I'm confused. 'Cause it feels like we're about to go into the final dungeon, yet we haven't fought... Huh. We haven't fought the second primal yet. Shouldn't the second primal come before the final dungeon? Where do I... Okay, we're gonna go over there. We're gonna do it over there and do a thing. They didn't, like, put two primals at the very end, did they? I mean, Innocence isn't gonna be the final... No. No. I don't think Innocence would be the final boss. Please tell me this stays there forever. That is amazing. Look at that thing. Oh my god. Everyone's here, though. I feel like we're about to go into a dungeon. Curious. Curiouser and curiouser. Everyone is here. Good. The Talos has taken hold of the mountain. As planned, we'll use its body to bridge the reach Vauthry's sanctuary. The Sin Eaters will make us work of every yalm, of course. But we will carve a path through their ranks and meet with their master regardless. For the first, last one, there's a rotten egg. Let's be careful, alright? Alright. Who's coming with? Mount Goga is now accessible. Oh my god. Well, here we go.
Here we go.
Let's do it. Wow. Thank you, Mr. Rock Titan Man. Alright, guys. Oops. Sure. Let's get going.
So it is you. You will not defile my new paradise.
Frey, I could use some help. Alright. I'm in no rush to go through this. Oh. Thank you, Mr. Rockman. Doing good. Doing good.
You underestimate me.
Let's keep going. That's cool. I think we got company. Man, what the fuck is the gear gonna look like from here? Let's take care of the rest. Okay. This is so fucking cool. This is how you do a final dungeon. Oh, hello. I want to see these bosses. I'm not attacking the right one. Oh. Goodbye, Mr. Big Person's Hand. Oh, it'll just stay there. Okay. Oh, there you are. Do you have similar mechanics to your stone version? Forgiven cruelty. Not that I remember those exactly. Alright. Here we go. That seems bad. You guys shouldn't stand there.
I'll show you.
You did good, Frey. Typhon Wing. I see. Cyclone Wing.
Let's give them a show.
Alright.
Leave the healing to me.
Oh. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Eh. Get him, Frick. Get him. I'm guessing we've seen all of its mechanics now. It's hard to judge how wide that is. By the way, we did it. The Forgiven Circlet of Maiming. That kinda looks like World of Darkness gear. Interesting. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's continue forward. Oh, we're starting to hit that weird near automata shit. Are you fucking kidding me?
You underestimate me.
Alright. Man, what is this? What kind of technological bullshit is going on? Is this just Vauthry creating stuff? A treasure. I love treasure. Hello. Bracelet of casting. Yeah, this is him making stuff. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Well. Let's try a big pull. I got galvanized, that's all I need. So much white. Very good. What? Is that the next boss? Hello? Healing. Well, if he wasn't such a dickbag, I'd say he'd be a talented artist. This is really pretty. White Gate. Forgiven whimsy. Good fucking gods. Alright. Here we go. It's one of those weird ones where I can't place it automatically. We got a 5-person team, you don't stand a chance. I'm gonna follow them. Oh, I get it. Okay. Gotcha. Look at this fucking thing. Did I get it? Yeah. This is cool, I like this. Oh, it's Tank Buster. Okay. I got you. What? I... Okay. I think I got it. in the middle? Get him, boy. This is cool. I like this. I got hit by that. Holy shit. Oh, pfft. That was very sudden. What is that cube? Of healing. What does this look like? It's World of Darkness gear. That's what it is. It's this. So, I guess I know what the tanking gear is gonna look like.
I am righteousness, and righteousness will prevail.
Well, here we go.
Can't you do anything by yourself?
I want this chest. Where's my team? There they are. That galvanized, doing work. I'm losing aggro. No. I would like to do this big pull, but I need you all to follow me. If you would all just stop oh my god. This pack is annoying. I hate all of you. Run, run, run. Since none of you want to play nice. Make sure I'm not missing any chests here. This is so fucking pretty. I just have to remember that this was designed by a design team, the talented members of the 14 development crew and not Vauthry. Look at that shit. Claws of the Forgiven. I think I saw a sword in that design earlier. Everyone all right? Hiya!
If you will not be discouraged.
Oh. Another toothpaste monster. Guys, don't stand in that, please. Here we are. Time to fight this waifu. Consort of sin, forgiven obscenity. But not the Light Warden. Innocence has to be the final Light Warden. Is Innocence? No. Is there really 2 primal fights left? Oh man. Let's get in there.
Stop them, damn you! I don't care what it takes!
What is? I'm just gonna stand in this. What? Ouch. I've got some vulnerability stacks. Oh boy. Okay. I got it. This is a cool fight.
Nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
Here we go with this again. Damn it. I still got hit by that. Such a cool fight. I like this. Come on, do it. Kill her. Yes. What a cool fight. What a cool dungeon. I feel like we're immediately about to go into a primal fight. Just, one for the road. Just bros being bros. Forgiven hate? Is that a minion? It is. That'd be worth some money, but I want it. Equip those. "45 minutes is what we're at right now. Man, that is how you do a final dungeon. That was awesome. This blows all the final dungeons of the previous expansions out of the water. Hands down.
The end is near, my friends. We have found Vauthry's hiding place.
Unrepentant villains! Will you not be satisfied until you have brought disaster down upon your heads? By your wickedness, you stand to gain naught but this conflict. Had you only entrusted your fate to me, there would have been peace for all. You could have lived bliss in my eternal paradise, free from the burdens of conscience and purpose.
Peace assumes many forms, and I do not doubt that you considered yours well worth the cost. I was even prepared to believe that the end might justify the means. Ignorant as I was, I had hoped that you might mend your ways and join hands with us. That we might strive together for the happiness of all. But no more. Your actions cannot be reconciled with your words. Peace for all, you say? Yet when you were threatened, your first act was to sacrifice your own people in order to save yourself. If your paradise can be rebuilt so long as you alone survive, it exists not for the people. It exists solely for your twisted pleasure.
Hear me, Vauthry. The people won't submit to your will, for we each have our own. I made a promise to a noble soul, a woman who saw fit to entrust me with her legacy, and I mean to keep it. Everyone who stands with us has something precious, something that they cherish and would die to protect. They know their own hearts. They know what they want for this world. And by lending their strength to our cause, they have spoken. No matter how hard you may try to bend the world to your will, we will never yield!
Silence! Not another word! You presume to lecture me. Insolent worms. You will learn your place. With my true powers awakened, I will expunge you like the filth you are. Your demise will serve as a reminder to all that I am the zenith of mankind and Shinita both, chosen to rule over creation by right of transcendence. My very existence is virtuous. I am perfect, immaculate.
He seems disinclined to grant us an audience.
Find Vauthry. We will hold the Eaters here. Come! Let's finish this!
Man, what is gonna happen here? The Crown of the Immaculate now accessible. Get me in there. It says it's him. It's still 79. We do have 2 primals left. Holy shit. This has to be Innocence. They wouldn't show the final boss. Not in the trailer. God, look at that shit. It says 6 minutes. It says we have a 6-minute wait. Man. That was an awesome dungeon. And now I'm almost certain we're about to fight Innocence. Wow. So they... Instead of having a primal at 78, you have a dungeon and a primal at 79. And then I imagine something's gonna happen after this. Then we'll fight whatever the final boss is. We have our tanks. God, I hope I'm not here too long. I want to get in there. How's my gear? My gear could have been better. This closest. I think it's within my best interest to repair. Has the music changed? It has. Here's the mender. I think I passed it. Yep. So tiny I couldn't see. We still don't have any DPS or healers. I really want to get in there. Holy shit. I don't want to keep waiting out here too long. And again, I'm doing this at 5:30 a.m. Guess while I wait, to the east. Oh yeah, it says you use the duty finder to confront Innocence in the Crown of the Immaculate. There we go. Let's get in there. Come on, let's go. Let's fucking go. DPS, tank, please. DPS, come on. Come on. God damn it. Please re-instant Q. Oh no, come on. Both tanks. Come on. Alright, here we go. Man. Is he gonna turn into Innocence?
Are you so determined to die? One last chance, villains! Bow down and acknowledge your king! Your god!
Okay. He's gonna have a transformation at some point. Not what I expected. Oh, this music already. Kildor. Well, here we go. Oh man, I should have turned effects off. Oh! Turn this off. Okay. Oh. He moves pretty fast. Oh boy. Here we go. Oh, that's doing damage, okay. Was Innocence in his tit the whole time? Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a tank buster. I can't believe Vauthry was friggin'. Oof. Man, that just keeps going, huh? Ooh. Pretty. Oh. Okay. Man, that is a hard-hitting Tempest. Oh! Wow. Okay. I was like, what do those spears on the outside of the arena do? Oh. Wake the fuck up, Samurai. We've got a boss to burn. Holy shit. Wow. Oh, I still got grid on. Ah. What a cool fight. This is gonna spinny spin. Good gods. This way. Okay, yeah. Come on, Frey. We got shit to do. Alright, this is how I died last time. I can only imagine what EX is going to be like. Yeah! So close. Here we go. There we fucking go. Let's go. That was awesome. That was awesome. He wasn't the Light Warden, was he? Was he? Vauthry? I see it's finally over then. Now night will return to Odol Norgard, bring salvation to both of our two worlds. Several cutscenes will play in sequence. Well, here we go. Set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Turn by speaking to the sentry post. Okay. That's it. He's not turning into light. He's still alive!
Why? Why am I cast down? But it is you who are the villains. Father told me that I am hope. I am righteousness.
Father?
That I am a god. That is why I was born. As man and sin eater both. I kept the people safe. They respected me. Worshipped me.
Are you talking about Emmet?
How can this be? I should be the one looking down at you. Damn you! I am your god!
What happens now? This is not going to go well. Everyone take a deep breath. This is gonna suck.
Look! The sky!
Now what? Having a vision? Of?
Fools! Were it not for my decisive action, the whole city would have been overrun, razed to the ground. Yet they dare to complain about casualties? Spare me. I'll wager they were put up to it by those wretches who seek to usurp me. They're stirring up the citizenry. But if they think I will yield to the likes of them, they are gravely mistaken.
To be subjected to such deplorable treatment, such ingratitude. You have my sympathies, sir. You do so much good for this city, and you could do so much more were you not surrounded by fools.
So it is Emmett's doing. In his Ascian form.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be in here.
My apologies for the intrusion, but I come bearing a proposal. One that will ensure the longevity of your reign. But give me the word, sir, and I will bring hither a light warden. By giving its power to the babe within your lady wife's womb, we shall create a transcendent being. A king to rule over all. And as sire to the king, your authority will never again be in question.
Amazing. Before my Vauthry, they behave as docile pets. With this gift, my line shall be guaranteed power for perpetuity. We shall rule the whole world.
By all means, sir. United under Yulmor's banner, men will cease fighting and abandon their ambitions. Thus, they will grow fat and complacent, and in their sloth, seal your supremacy.
Are we gonna see his mask? No. Oh boy, here we go.
Are you alright?
I don't
Say
think so.
something!
You guys need to stand back.
12 for Fend. He cannot contain the light. He's beginning to turn. Urianger, if you've aught up your sleeve, now is the time.
It's changing back.
Excuse me? Oh no.
The combined power of every Light Warden is too terrible a burden for any one soul to bear. And so I shall relieve you of it.
Exarch! What are you doing?
I will channel this profusion of power to the Crystal Tower and use it to travel to other worlds. As I have dreamed of doing ever since I first learned of their existence. Who would choose to remain here in this dying realm when they might go elsewhere and begin anew? Not I. And thus did I use you.
No, I don't believe you. It doesn't make sense.
Damn you! We won't let you do with him as you please.
Do not interfere! Please, I beseech you all, let him go!
You knew of this, Urianger. 'Tis all a fiction. Such vaguely defined acts of teleportation stand no chance of success. The Exarch will never live to see another world, as he knows only too well.
Then, what does he mean to do?
He means to take the light with him into the rift, where he will die. From the beginning, he intended to sacrifice himself to save our friend and Norvrent.
At journey's end, an opportunistic thief makes off with the hero's prize. A paltry way to end a chapter, I concede. Yet your tale will continue, and my role in it will scarcely be remembered. Worry not. Whatever should become of me, I will be happy and free, safe in the knowledge that I have played my part.
Kratia, no! Call him by his name. God damn it, no. I'm gonna fucking cry.
Thank you for fighting for this world. For believing. Fare you well, my friend. My inspiration.
Damn it. No. I thought it was the sound of thunder or something. It was a fucking...
Only those who possess the royal eye of the Allagan Imperial line are capable of controlling the Crystal Tower. Such individuals do not exist in the First.
God damn it, Emmet.
Therefore, in all likelihood, the Exarch arrived here with the tower. This much I had surmised, yet I could not discern his grand scheme. To think that he went through all this trouble for the sake of a single hero. It's almost admirable in its absurdity. Alas, it is not your grand scheme that will succeed, but ours. You bastard! Stay put. Your friend is still alive, but whether he remains so depends on you. What a disappointment you turned out to be.
You better be the final boss, 'cause I'm gonna murder you.
I placed my faith in you. Let myself believe that you could contain the light. But look at you now. Halfway to becoming a monster. You are unworthy of my patronage. I am an Ascian. My heart's sole desire is to usher in the great rejoining. 100 years ago, I entrusted my comrade Logriff with the task of increasing light's sway over this world. This we sought to do by manipulating heroes. When that failed to achieve the desired result, I created Vauthry. Thanks to your meddling, that too has ended in failure.
What was your true purpose in approaching us?
By your 12, boy, have I not told you before that everything I said was the truth? You were specimens by which I might gauge man's potential as it stands. I genuinely had an interest in you, genuinely considered taking you on as allies. Provided he could contain and control the light. If not, then he, and by extension you, would be of no use to me. 'Twas as simple as that.
So, we've been found wanting. How disheartening. But even had we fulfilled your conditions, there was no guarantee that we would cooperate. What then?
Then I simply kill you all. At the very least, it would restore the world to the way it was before you went about trouncing Light Wardens willy-nilly. Suffice it to say, it would be most inconvenient to have all that light taken away, and I would be lying if I were to claim his actions didn't have me worried.
Oh, God.
You still retain your form and your senses, but you have all but become a Sin Eater. Whether you will it or no, your mere existence will serve to engulf the world in light. Those in your company will likewise turn into Sin Eaters, and in time you will succumb to your base instincts and hunt Innocence to feast on their sweet, sweet ether. Those few with the will left to fight may rise up against you, but before your absolute might, they will quickly know despair. There is no hope. We are finished. Mankind is finished. Ah, the irony. What Vauthry achieved through bliss, you achieved through despair. But I have overstayed my welcome. I shall look forward to seeing you bring the world to its knees, hero.
Alright, Bert. I need some help here, man. Where are you taking him?
I have naught to show for all the time and effort I invested in you. He is a small token for my troubles. I did not expect that I could learn aught from man, but I may yet learn something from all the knowledge he had hoarded for his precious hero. I pity you, I do. Your friends are now your foes. If you do not kill them, they will kill you. When it all becomes too much to bear, seek me out at my abode in the dark depths of the Tempest.
Alright, Bert.
There, you may complete your descent into madness with some dignity, far from prying eyes.
Alright, Bert.
Till then, I bid you farewell, Eater.
God. Oh, this isn't good. This isn't good. Is this really happening? Am I asleep? Is this a dream?
Ah, finally. After you collapsed, Emmet's self vanished. Then Reen did what she could to stay the raging of the light within your body. Thanks to her, you're still you, but she's only delayed the inevitable. You're not going to like what you see, but you still need to see it.
All the light came back? Oh no.
It's like this all over. The whole of Norvrat is shrouded in light again. And it's because of you, and the power you absorbed from the Wardens. No one knows but your friends. When they carried you down from the mountain, they told everyone waiting below that they didn't understand why the light had returned. And now they're out there trying to allay the people's fears, while searching for a way to save you. If you're well enough to be up, you're well enough to get some fresh air. Better that than stewing in here. Go on. Go.
And what the fuck is Emmet doing with Grahatia, though? I am very concerned about everything that has transpired here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave, cold and lifeless. You were like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. When they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Exarch away to the chaos, what is this world coming to? But moaning never solved a thing, did it? Nay, it's times like these that we, the Crystarian folks, stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Yulmore is back in the table. We'd best take use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chisamiel was worried sick about you. A healer wringing her hands is not a sight you wish to see. Let me tell you. God, I was legit crying during that cutscene. I thought the gunshot was like thunder, or some sound effect of him teleporting away to the void. No one's been allowed to see you, even Spaghetti. Cheergrins were forbidden to make visits. Reen was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to Eater corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grown ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. And our own Morin, who has been a little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too, busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome after another. Cabinet of Curiosity. We are in the Exarch retrieval arc. Start the season now. I had honestly believed that it wasn't going to be Grahatia. Confound it. This says the same thing as last. Maybe I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Allah, is it truly you? And not some figment of my imagination? Ah, but this is wonderful. It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the Light Wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definite conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all the more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Yes, please, let's do that. Catalyst, meanwhile, leads the crystalline mean in preparations for battle, though against what foe, we are as yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Allah, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that haven't heard folk worrying what's become of you and the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day, and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we're keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques, designs, and the like. If you could stand still a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we'd need to experiment with different patterns and materials. And I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that you would enjoy. Greetings, Gilnerd. Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his epiphanies perfect answer to this predicament of ours. And by genius you mean old Grinold. He is a man of unrivaled gifts. I won't argue with that there. But what good does his talents do if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide nor hair of Grinold since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is someone you destined to meet, I wager he'll show up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters, even if a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Grinold, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance, rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing. Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a regular who's eager to meet you. Best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Here, here. We can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded. Where the Exarch might not have much of a home to return to. Hello, are you alright? I think a return to your sick bed might be in order, or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This damnable sky doesn't make the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. We're still on a level 79 quest. Damn it. God, so many emotions just course through me all at once.
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible An all too familiar one. Here you stand alone, expecting no one else to bear the burden for you. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burned so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive.
Bismarck?
Well, come on then.
Ba-la-la-la.
As I thought. What happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
Oh, I was worried you were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle.
That doesn't exactly sound like my style.
It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? My dear beloved sapling, you are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I am happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in this city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. Exarch merely smiled and said because one day Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. Might as well get this while I'm here. I wasn't expecting a cutscene. I'm sure this is all fascinating, but I've got shit to do. I don't know what caused that reaction, but take that. Alright, where are we off to? The Almera launch. Cabinet of Curiosity. Oh, that is good to see you awake and alert, my friend. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, then it'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born. The Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearances aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard? Doubly hard? Doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual post in the Exarch Gate. Boy. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you've come for the results of my research into persistent light, I'm afraid there's little I can tell you. Records pertaining to the Exarch. Well, I need no documentation to relieve what little I know of its history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the Flood, when the Crystal Tower first flashed into its existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon after. He welcomed all who sought out the spire, be they locals who had lost their homes or Verberites fleeing their ruined kingdom. And together did they found the city which would become the Crystarium. Some thought of him thought to call him king, for he refused to share his name. But the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did the people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it would seem that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Where is this? Right. Well, I can get right there by teleporting. Whoops. Shit. Only the main aetheryte makes you go to a secondary menu. Ugh. Well, I was not told you had awoken. Welcome surprise. Now if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation until I saw you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Kalusia, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door in the ocular to a chamber known as the Umbilicus. This room is the heart of the Crystal Tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed, only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the Umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me such instructions, but with a battle with Vauthry loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all that occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Allah, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch. I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? I see I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. I need to stand. Been in the chair too long now. The unbroken thread. Come, meet me in the ocular and I will unlock the door within. want to do is get my boy back. Show me the way to my boy. Mr. Allah, the captain said to expect you. Alright, back into the chair.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
Just a room with a lot of books. Oh, who's this? Was there Yanche?
A moment to collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then. By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
So he's Graha from the future.
Thou hast, by subtle means, reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly. But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest. In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass.
If the history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. So that's what that meant.
The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process. And, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th Umbral Calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. 'Tis all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century. But this only worked in our favor. The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only man who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
An undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen this.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Sid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was him. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, he would rise above. Where others would break and run, he would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were his deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the warrior of light himself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. He was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to him. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again and live. I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
Wherefore sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice?
'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me, but in saving one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the rift.
Is this truly thy wish?
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case. What do you mean to do?
I'm gonna save my boy. With both Emmet and the Exarch.
We should be on our way. Dacian mentioned the Tempest, did he not? That's the stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
You did all this for me. You bet your ass I'm gonna do everything I can to save that boy. Let's keep going. You saw it. There is nothing more you need. I will go and lock the door. Tempest is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide with you on a morrow to fly you over the waters, but... Alright then, good enough, here we go. Do you mean to leave right this moment, alone? I'm not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I will await your safe return. Assume the Amara launch. hold on a little bit longer.
Ah, we have found thee.
I totally wasn't about to go out on my
Word
own.
reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses. When I agreed to aid the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare. Yet it is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command. Pray believe me when I say that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee. Indeed, I curse the circumstances which compelled me to do so. But no further secrets lie between us, I swear it.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again.
Which is why we need to go right now.
Please, you must stay here. At least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in his way now. Not after failing him in his hour of need. No! The least we can do is...
We will go with you as well. There is naught to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
Are we all in agreement, then?
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
You told them?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
From the moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive. And I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Me too! That's right! Here, here!
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless. So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O warrior of darkness?
God, I like that title. Defend the Crystarium until we return. Leave it to us. We'll see this Exarch come safe and sound. For the best, prepare for the worst. Up. Alright, Arianche. No more lies. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amaro to thy journey on open sea. I fear that following dive down unto Emmet Sock's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believe we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to the end of Crystarium. Once the sea closes above our heads, we will unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. Storm-tossed seas. Thine affairs are in order, and I shall unfold to thee my proposal. Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our jail is not simply to yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of the Fae, and being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words of explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lies southwest. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee. What am I doing? I can teleport there. So here's what I'm thinking. I have no idea how close I am to the actual end of this. I mean, it all seems like it's coming to a head, right? But if I can get to the point where I can unlock the final boss, I will call it quits there for today. And I probably won't stream when I wake up today either. I'll probably save it till tomorrow when I have a day off, because I do not want to be rushed with the ending of this. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna be a long 24 hours. Well, a long 13 hours. I have a 13-hour shift, but then I have to sleep, and then coming home and trying to sleep after that will be crazy, but it will be well. I have never been down here. If I had been down here, I would have been, wow, that looks weird. But I just want to take my time with this This has been so amazing. I can't wait to go through this on my own. I cannot wait. But I have to because I have to level other classes. There to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason. Though it can be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one in all the spectacle of mine inept strokes. Listen, for doing all that lying and all the grief you've caused, least you can do is show us your strokes, man. Alright? This... Excuse me? How have I not seen this the entirety of the time I've been here? The Isle of Ken. The Isle of Ken looks like a whale of some sorts. It's shaped like some sort of something. This is not just an island. Down we go. Yeah, that is a being. Well, I'm glad I didn't look at that beforehand. I think I can go to the maximum of 7:30. Because that's when I really gotta... You guys are here. Okay. That's when I really gotta try and go to sleep. Alright, Arianche. Well, what hast thou discerned? I've discerned that it's an ordinary island. It reminds me of a certain primal. It's just like the big one. Yes, yes. Thine impression is not inaccurate. According to the lore of the Pixies, here we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. Its name is Bismarck. Aye, the selfsame title by which we know the great feathered whale, revered by the Venuvan. I didn't even think if the first had its own versions of primals that we know. We're on a Fey version of Bismarck. Holy shit. I would enlist its aid to bear us unto the deep, and then banish the water with its airy sphere, alike in the form of the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the ruby sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now, I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication. That is awesome. I hope that's something we can explore in, like, the 5.x series. I wonder. We still haven't been told what the 5.x series primals are going to be.
Wir Sach, Bilang Bismail.
He's way bigger than the other Bismarck.
Fallen si lor wislan. Ada si alinal.
Van urs atslir. Olfod thim. Iri guath thi.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
I know what to do. We need fail. I can't believe I've grown attached to this fairy character.
You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Gers Bismael win picked. Van dromi drom jakom. Van Reed Rithye.
It's like, God damn it.
Sahawin wisk. Isne rim. Sor vierlo.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight. May the blessings of the Fae keep you safe, Inba.
Lo fallo ruis. Van in narsitar. Dir sidagnai.
This is so cool. This version of Bismarck is way better. Look at him go. Look at him go.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, but the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
Bet you $10 you're wrong.
What the? Do you see that?
Dive! 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 That's gonna make a wave.
Monster! Where did it even come from?
Oh.
Whoa there! It's not stopping! Run! Run!
I like that he calls us little neighbors. What a nice whale god. Under the sea. Under the sea. Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Show me what this looks like.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The Tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being.
So that's why he's down here. I'm gonna kill him.
You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
That's what I aim to do. The Tempest. Is this a zone? Is there a fucking aetheryte down here? Oh my god, it is a zone. Oh my god. Holy shit. We have some ways to go. Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emmet's silk. I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Asian alone, it is of course trifling matter to flee into the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the crystal tower, and its power is a temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboreth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them. Man, I was not expecting this. The area speak to Vermont Yard's Cluja. Tempest. This is the music of the final zone. It's so whimsical. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmet's silk will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing, the ground is still wet and like to be slippery. Of course. Yep. I'll worry about that all later. I think right here is a good place to end it for right now. We've been going at it for 2 hours and 42 minutes, another long one. But it was so hard to stop. I literally have to stop myself now or I'll just keep going. And I need to go to sleep soon. So I'm gonna wrap up stream, I'm gonna take my melatonin, I'm gonna go to sleep. When I wake up, I'll hop back on and I'll do some side stuff. And tomorrow, after I come home and I sleep, we will stream again, and hopefully we will knock this out of the park tomorrow. Oh man, I didn't know what the final zone was going to be. I did not expect this in the slightest. But god damn it, I'll take it. Well, see you all later. Bye.